All right. We are now going to go position rooms. We've been talking about, it's funny you should say linebacker because that's where we're going to start. And we're now 20 days out from the start of training camp for the Eagles. And we're going to look at the linebacker room. And we're going to evaluate that position right now and look at where they are when it comes to their LB room. This is my takeaway from the players that I think will be impactful this year. And I'm going to classify Hassan Reddick, obviously, as a linebacker. And here's my take on your guys who I think will be impactful this year. Here's your LB room as you get ready for training camp. Hassan Reddick. They figured him out where two previous teams couldn't. I don't know if that's Gannon, Howie, or a combination of all that. He came on like a thunderbolt down the stretch when they needed him to be even bigger. I thought he kind of wobbled out of the gate, but then again, new system, new players he's playing with, and it just didn't look consistent and like it fit. But like I said, as the season went on, and when they added Linval Joseph and they added Adama Sue, he just exploded because they went from 22 in rushing defense to 16. That little nuance helped him a lot on getting one-on-ones. Not the best tackler. It's been chronicled in his career. Not a very good cover guy. But here's where he makes up for that. Now, Micah Parsons is better than Reddick at all of those phases. Better tackler, can cover more. Okay? But here's where Reddick was an absolute freak show last year. Guy's number one in third down sacks. Do you understand what that means? That's a big play guy. That's a guy when you need to get off the field, your defense gets off the field because you got a guy that's planting quarterbacks like they're fig trees. That is the best. Dude, I'd rather lead the league in that stat than actual sacks because that's impactful. I would rather have he had 19 and a half sacks with all the games he played in last year. So you put that third down, number one in the league, 3 years in a row, double digit. Jadeveon Clowney's never had a double-digit sack season in his entire NFL career. That's big. That had to have been Howie Roseman's greatest free agent find in his entire coaching or his entire administrative career. You don't find a guy that's number one in third down in sacks. Now we add this stat. He's number one in caused fumbles. So you got a football player playing outside linebacker for you, rushing the passer, that is number one in caused fumbles, number one in third down sacks, 19 and a half last year with all the games he played. That's a force. I would make this point to you. He's probably the best pass rusher that you've had since Reggie. And he might be your greatest linebacker rusher since Hugh Douglas. I mean, and here's why you can say he's in that category. He's done it for 3 years in a row now. I mean, okay, he's not the best tackler. Okay, he's not a great cover guy. He's awful athletic. He's around the ball. He works on the move that LT had. Strip sacks. Turnovers. Let me show you something here, what Reddick did in a football game, in my opinion, that shows you production. And I'll show you why he was more productive than Micah Parsons down the stretch. Okay. And you're right, Yale. If I'm Nolan Smith, I'm like Velcro and I watch this guy's preparation, what he watches in games, what he's looking at, and I emulate every single thing that that guy does when it comes to playing the game. Okay. Let me show you what you talk about when you're grading a player. Let's just go here with the Purdy play. I'm sure Niner all day, okay, will not like this. So he gets a pressure on Purdy. He gets a sack. He gets a caused fumble. He gets a TFL. And he gets a tackle on one play. So on one play, he got a pressure, a sack, caused fumble, tackle for loss, and a tackle. On one play. One play. You get all that productivity from him. It takes guys sometimes 25 plays to get all that. One play. God forbid he's got 3 sacks in the game. Dude, I'll say this to you. Max Crosby, Myles Garrett, those guys are very productive on a consistent basis. But I would make the argument with you that, I was wrong. From probably week 8 on, I don't know there was a more productive outside linebacker that rushed the quarterback than him. Number 1 in third down sacks, number 1 in caused fumbles, 16 and a half sacks. Dude, what else do you want? And he killed a quarterback in the NFC title game. He was more impactful in that game than any player that played in the Eagles in the NFC Championship game. He was the MVP of the NFC title game. Tremendous. And that makes up for a lot of weakness that they have at this position. Let's go to Nakobe Dean now. Quite a fall. Now, I'm going to be fair here. Okay, to Nakobe. Athletic. Student of the game. Smart. And from what I'm understanding, one of the most important things that Nakobe Dean goes into this chapter of his career is that he processes information and retains it. I heard what they did during the OTAs with him. They overloaded him during the walkthroughs, during the practices, helmets and shorts. They overloaded him to see how much he would retain of the defense. Somebody said around 78%. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Because you know why? That means this. You don't have to tell him more than once on what he's looking at. He's going to process it. You know who he's kind of reminding me a little bit of? I'm going to get to the negatives here, but you know who he kind of reminds me of a little bit? Just by some of the talk that people are telling me about? I would say this. He kind of reminds me of Jonathan Vilma. He's a little like Vilma. Not as big, obviously. But he's got a lot of what I think could help him go a long way. Dude, knowledge of the game can sometimes supersede athletic ability. How many times do you watch guys that have great talent and you're like, how come that guy can't get it right? Because he doesn't process the information quick enough. Because he doesn't understand it. Okay? He's a savant. He's a leader. Zero experience. He needs reps. Okay? He just needs reps. For me to sit here and say anything negative about Nakobe Dean is not fair because I haven't seen him. There's just too small of a sample size for me to sit here and have an opinion on him. Okay? But all the things people are saying about him, he just hasn't played. So, athletic, processes information quickly, has a history of injuries, just zero experience. Xander, I'm going to finish the linebacker room, then I'll take a break, okay? Nicholas Morrow. Solid player. Nothing special. In his career, hasn't been special. Has a ton of experience. The Bears wanted to upgrade, and they did with TJ Edwards, and they fired him. And this is the cast off of the Bears. And the Eagles needed experience. And this is who he is, what it is. I mean, he's an experienced guy. He's not bad. But it just shows you what the Eagles thought of him. They didn't give him any sign-on bonus money. They made no investment in the guy. I mean, he got zero money. Okay? And to me, I think he'll be in the process of helping Nakobe Dean when it comes to calling of the defenses. I think he'll be in the room there helping him. So you have experience next to him. But again, end of the day here, he's a solid player. Unless they upgrade the linebacker position with some of the guys like Miles Jack that are out there or Kyle Van Noy, and they bring them in, he's probably going to make the team. Again, he's okay. Nolan Smith, a Reddick clone. You got to figure a way to put 4-3 on the field. You got to figure it. Have two human bullets coming from the outside. I would say him coming from the wide side of the field. 4-3 can cover out there a little bit more. I would rush him from the wide side, set the edge better. You're going to have to figure out how to put him in a position. And see, what Howie's doing now, Howie's doing what everyone in the league's doing. What are they getting? Corners and edge rushers. That's what this league has now become. Corners and edge rushers. Those are now the premium positions to play defense in the NFL. See, personally, I'm with Yale. I think this guy has a chance to be special too. 4-3, athletic. Again, those Georgia guys not overly productive on their stat sheet. But again, they rotate so many guys. Just rotate a ton of dudes. That kid Sean Brady guy, he's a dude. Okay, my overall assessment of the linebacking room is this. Inexperience, athletic. Do they have the room they had a year ago? No. You lost over 375 tackles. Two guys that got raises. One guy was experienced and it was your play caller with the green dot. Guys kept saying how easy it is going to be able to replace Kaiser White. Okay, I want to see it. Because you really don't have a guy on the team here that can replace him. Nicholas Morrow's not better than Kaiser White. So, they need reps. Nakobe needs reps. Reddick continue. Look, if Nakobe plays well and Reddick continues to do what he does, it's not going to be a Death Star when it comes to the linebacking position that people thought it was going to be when all those exits happened in free agency. See what Batman says? It's July 7th. 20 days to camp. And he's saying about his linebacking core, we'll see. It's too late. On July 7th, if you're saying we'll see, how do you think San Francisco feels we'll see at quarterback? All right. Hour number 2, we're going to open up with the running back room. Hit the like button. Hour 2, keep it here on the National Football Show.
Do you